Hello and welcome. My name is Andy Crook, and my mission is to help garage owners become more successful in business. How do I do that? I go live most weeks on a topic from one of the 5 pillars of business as I see it. And today we're in the marketing pillar, and we're talking about your social media content. And I know what some of you are thinking. Mate, I've got cars to fix. I'm not trying to be a YouTuber. But this episode isn't about becoming an influencer. It's about learning how to create content that attracts the right customers. Not something you do for vanity, but something you do because it produces a result. And the result that you want is more of the right customers. Most micro businesses, that's businesses with less than 9 staff or less than £1 million in turnover, have a sales level need. They need more cash flowing through their business. And there are only 2 ways to make that happen. You either need to do more sales or have a higher average sales value. So attracting more of the right customers means that more sales, potentially higher sales values. So if you combine the right customer with the right job enough times, you will resolve your sales level need. And that's a fact. And that's why marketing matters. The problem most small businesses face is they don't know how to create content that converts into customers. They know they should put stuff out there, but what and where? The framework I'm going to talk about tonight works across all social media platforms. It helps business think differently about content. And if you decide to use it, it will change the way you create your content. And this framework is called Hook, Retain, Reward. And most garages only understand the first bit. But then they ask, why doesn't marketing work? Stick with me and discover what Hook, Retain, Reward actually is, why garages do content differently, and what you need to do to change it to make your content more effective. Let's get stuck right in. Imagine you walk into a crowded room. It's loud, people are talking, different conversations here, there, and everywhere. That room is social media. Everyone is busy. Everyone is distracted. Nobody came into this room looking for you. They came in to scroll, laugh, zone out, or just to avoid their life for a couple of minutes. Now imagine you need to get the attention of a specific person in that room. You don't have time to give a long speech. You don't have that time to warm them up. Maybe you've got 1 or 2 seconds before they go back into their own world. So you need to shout one word, a name or a label, something that gets a head turn. That moment, the head turn, is what we call the hook. What I also call stopping the scroll. And garages love that part because it feels like progress. You can see a view count go up. You can see a like. And you see, 3,000 people reach, and you think, great, my content is working. But here's the problem. In that crowded room, getting someone to turn their head is not the same as getting them to walk over. In fact, it's not even close. Because the second they turn their head, they ask themselves one question. Is this for me? And if the next thing you say doesn't answer that question immediately, they turn back round, carry on with their conversation. And that's scrolling. And that's what's happening in social media. So the hook is important, but it is only permission to speak. It's not success. Success is what happens after the hook. And that's where most marketers completely lose the plot. Retention is the part that keeps people listening. It's the reason they don't turn back around. In the crowded room, retention is the moment that you add clarity. You don't just shout the label. You explain why they should care. You give context. You make it relevant. And here's the thing. Most marketers understand what retain actually is. They think retention is being more entertaining. They think retention is being funny. They think retention is a longer video. No, retention is not time. Retention is relevance and structure. Retention is the bridge between attention and trust. Because customers don't book a garage based on a hook. They book a garage because they know and trust. So retention is where trust begins. And this is where most garage content dies. Because garages get a tiny bit of attention and then they waste it by doing one of three things. They either waffle. Hi guys, just a quick one today. We're in the workshop. Busy day, another whatever as in. The customer doesn't care. They didn't stop for a diary update. They stopped because they thought you had something useful to show them or say. And waffling just kills it. Or they go too technical. They show a part no normal person could identify, and then they start talking like they're on some sort of training course. Customers don't want an apprenticeship. They want clarity and confidence. So when you talk like it's for other mechanics, you then lose the customer. And probably the worst thing that garages do, and lots of other businesses, is they only talk about themselves. They talk about that new tool, the new ramp, the job they've just done, another busy day. That's garage ego content. It's not customer trust content. Retention is the moment you prove this is about you, not me. And that's the difference between content that gets views and content that converts into customers. Now we come to the reward. This is the part most marketers don't even know exists. Reward is the payoff. It's the thing the customer gets for giving you their attention. It's the moment their brain goes, I get it now. The reward does one of three things. It reduces uncertainty, prevents a mistake. It gives them a simple next step. Reward makes the customer feel safe. And safety is the currency that makes customers act. This is the part that makes your content useful. Without reward, your content is just noise. And here's why reward matters so much. Because social media doesn't pay you for attention. Customers pay you for outcomes. So reward is where your content becomes valuable. It makes the viewer think, this garage knows what they're doing. I feel like I would be in safe hands with them. It's the sort of place I'd like to take my vehicle to. It's the sort of place I trust. And once they've had that reward moment, they don't just scroll. They follow, they save, they message, they book. And that's the difference. Hook makes them look. Retain makes them watch or listen. Reward makes them trust. Remember, I did a training topic a long, long time ago now called What's in it for me? And that's what the chimp brain is continuously asking. What's in it for me? If it doesn't serve them, they scroll by. Now, let's be honest. Why do garages do content so badly? It's because they create content as an afterthought. Social media is way down the list of things they need to do. So they use heuristics, mental shortcuts, and just like other tradespeople, a mechanic posts like he's speaking to other mechanics. Because that's who they understand. That's their world. So they think, if I show something impressive, people will respect me. And they're right. Other mechanics will respect it. They will even engage with the content, leave comments, likes and shares. But customers couldn't care less. They don't care that you have the latest tool. They care what that tool can do for them. Restaurants don't post about their ovens. They post about food. And lots of garages simply don't get that. They continue to post about themselves, not who they want to serve. Therefore, their content never connects. It's like shouting into the crowded room, but speaking the wrong language. You might get some attention, briefly, but no one understands what they should do next. So, you often hear me say, do more, do it better, before doing something additional, because that's the Atomic Success MBA way. In this case, doing more might not fix the problem. We should all be doing more to attract the right customers, but posting more of the wrong thing doesn't fix this problem. In fact, it probably makes it worse, because you have started to train your audience to ignore you. You've started to become wallpaper. If your posts don't reward people, they learn that stopping to watch you is a waste of their time. So when you do eventually post something good, they scroll past out of habit. The aim isn't so much frequency, but precision. And precision comes from two things that garages mostly avoid: choosing a specific customer and then speaking to their world, not yours. This is why Hook, Retain, Reward works, because it forces you to think differently. It forces you to consider, who is this for? Why should they care? What will they get? Not, what did we do today? What fancy car was in today? It's not that. It's something completely different. Now, here is the big takeaway from this training topic. Carpet bombing on social media is when you post everything you do for everyone, and then you hope. And I call them weapons of mass distraction, WMDs, and you all know the trouble they got some people in. Hook, Retain, Reward is a laser-guided missile by comparison. Hook targets a specific head turn. Retain keeps the right person engaged, and Reward earns trust and encourages action. That means fewer posts can produce more customers, because each post is designed to do a job, not fill a need. That's the difference between a mechanic randomly replacing parts, firing the old parts can, and a mechanic following a methodical test plan. One creates random results, the other creates predictable outcomes. Hook, Retain, Reward is predictable marketing. What do you need to do differently? Well, here's the 5-step improvement pathway. Step 1. Stop posting garage content. Your workshop isn't interesting to the public by default. It becomes interesting only when you translate it into customer outcomes. The content isn't the job. The content is how the job serves your ideal customer. Step 2. Decide who your ideal customer is. You can't target everyone with one message. Even if your garage does serve everyone, your content must be intentional. Ideal customer isn't just a brand. For example, you think, oh, I've got an ideal customer. It's an Audi driver. It's not that. It's a mindset. So consider this. Do they value convenience or price certainty? Do they value status or reliability? Are they organized or reactive? Are they happy to plan or are they always last minute? Once you know that about your ideal customer, your content becomes sharper. Step 3. Build content units that match what those customers care about. A content unit is one idea. It's not a list of services. It's not an advert. It's an idea. And it must connect with your ideal customers' content written just for them. And it solves their automotive pain points. And you should write the content for strangers, not for people who already know you. Step 4. Use Hook, Retain, Reward every time. Now, this takes discipline. If you only hook, you get views but no trust. If you retain without a hook, nobody sees it. If you hook and retain but don't reward, you get attention with no conversion. Reward is what creates the customer relationship. It's all based on trust. And step 5, make taking action easy. Customers don't take action when it's confusing. The best garages reduce friction, not just in the workshop, but in the customer journey. Your content should make the next step feel safe and simple. When people trust you, they don't want to be sold, they want to be guided. So if you take anything away from this training topic, take this. Hook gets attention, retain earns interest, and reward creates trust. And it's trust that creates new customers. If your content isn't working, it's probably because you're not able to stop the scroll. But if you are stopping the scroll, what you're doing is you're shouting, "Mum!" into a crowded room, but not finishing the sentence. So this week, your job is simple. Stop posting for attention. Start posting for action. Build your content using Hook, Retain, Reward. And watch what happens when your posts stop being garage content and start serving your ideal customer. Remember, if you should, you must, and what's stopping you is probably starting. See you in the next episode.